A Capitol rioter just got his sentence tripled after effing around in court. Frank Giustino of New York got his jail sentence boosted from 21 days to a total of 3 months following his bizarre courtroom antics, reported the Daily Beast. During a June 23rd hearing, Giustino derided his case as a quote-unquote absolute clown show of a prosecution. He told the judge that he had fired his lawyer and wanted to represent himself, which always goes very, very well, by the way. He also used language that appeared to comport with the sovereign citizens movement belief that the government is illegitimate. Now, that has been also co-opted by a lot of Republicans, a lot of right-wingers, that are not just on the extreme right. Again, saying that, oh, Joe Biden, not the legitimate president, illegitimate government, blah, 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 never won. Of course, there's no evidence, but as our friend Mikey loves to say,
just forget about the evidence.
Yes. So now, according to the transcript, he said, "We're not doing any sentencing date. Have you guys heard anything that I've said? Have you seen anything that I have filed? This is not a real court. There's not a single judicial officer here presiding on my case." Pretty sure there is. Pretty sure that is a real courtroom. I mean, apparently the jail is real. They're sending you to. So, I mean, it seems real to me. Now, the judge had told Giustino, please act in a civilized fashion, and said he would issue a warrant for his arrest if he didn't show up in court for sentencing. Now, he responded by saying to the judge, "Why don't I issue a warrant for your arrest? I think the U.S. Marshal should come after you, not me." No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. When you're in court, yes, you do have to give a certain respect to the judge. I know. Later on, Assistant U.S. Attorney Douglas Collier said Giustino sent him an email on September 5th in which he referred to his prosecution as the, quote, very definition of terrorism. No, and said he was going to show up in court, but only as a courtesy, and demanded the dismissal of his case along with an apology. This guy's a riot. I mean, come on. Wow. Now, Giustino pleaded guilty back in February to parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building. That's a misdemeanor, right? The maximum sentence of 6 months of incarceration. More than 400 other January 6 rioters have pleaded guilty to the exact same charge. So, look, misdemeanor, okay. I mean, the guy wasn't necessarily part of the violence or anything, wasn't beating up police officers, but he was in a restricted area, wasn't supposed to be inside the Capitol building. And so, you know, during an official proceeding, you're not supposed to do that. So, you know, take the slap in the wrist and be like, okay, well, now I know I can't do that. But no, the entitlement here is just amazing. Now, Collier told the judge that, quote, the defendant's behavior has been disrespectful and belittling. And it gets worse, by the way. Giustino repeatedly blew off his court appearances. Just decided, I'm not going to show up. Now, as a result of the clear lack of respect for the judicial process, Judge James Boasberg basically aimed higher than the original prosecution's recommended 3 weeks, in jail, and instead gave him 3 months, although he did get credit for time served. This was roughly 30 days that he was in custody while awaiting sentencing, so he gets that credit. But still, 90 days of imprisonment, that's the sentence. Now, the judge said, quote, your behavior from the moment of the guilty plea until sentencing has been about the worst of any January 6th defendant I've had. Now, afterwards, Giustino struck a more conciliatory tone. He condemned the violence at the Capitol and said he didn't intend to be disrespectful, saying, quote, I just want to go home. Well, you're going to have to wait a while for that one. At least a couple more months than you would have had to if you had decided not to be an a-hole. Again, this is the F around and he's in the finding out stage of that, okay? But again, I mentioned the entitlement. It's what really strikes me here with all this. Now, you can't do this to me. Well, yeah, I can, and I just did. sad day for you. Maybe you ought to have a little bit more respect for the judicial process, for the law. There it is.